Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the G League Rundown. Uh, as always, Cartel Dudley Jr., Randy Lyons, Wilson Tarver Jr. Going to be going through through our normal paces here on the G League Rundown, just to let you guys know who, in fact, played today. Um, only had 4 games. The Memphis Hustle beat the Greensboro Swarm earlier today, 118-98. Lakeland Magic fell to Oklahoma City Blue, 115-113. The Agua Caliente Clippers lead the Canton Charge 56-41. The Delaware Bluecoats leading the Long Island Nets 54-41. In terms of the standings, there is still one undefeated team. That has not changed. The Delaware Bluecoats trying to keep their lead on the rest of the league. And they've done that. They're still 5-0. The Spurs are 5-1. The Bayhawks, Oklahoma City Blue are 5-1 as well. 2 teams at 4-2 in the Ignite and Raptors 905. Several teams at 3-3, being the Santa Cruz Warriors, Lakeland Magic, Memphis Hustle, and Westchester Knicks. The Clippers, Canton Charge, and Long Island Nets are all 2-3. At 2-4, we have the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, Greensboro Swarm. And then we have 2 teams at 1-5, Fort Wayne Mad Salt Lake City Stars. And for the Iowa Wolves, unfortunately, nothing has yet changed. They are still 0-6. Look, Wolves, I know it's only 6 games, man. Hopefully you guys find your way out of the dark, dark, dark place that you started this season in, because look, man, it's not going to get too much better. It's real out there. Going to ask you guys real quick, in terms of your standout players for this edition of the D-League Rundown. Ray, we'll start with you, then go to Cardo.
For today, I had 2. They actually both from the early game, the Memphis Hustle and the Greensboro Swarm. For Memphis, David Stockton had a solid game today, 15 points, 13 assists. It was a dominant victory for Memphis. They won by 20. He looked like the G League version of his dad. He's just out there running the show, hitting open shots, setting guys up. He looked real good today. For Greensboro, Vernon Carey Jr. He had 28 and 10 today, 50% from the field. He's averaging 23 and almost 10 rebounds a game, shooting almost 59% for the season. So he's really been on one. It's just kind of a front court logjam with the Hornets. They got Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Bismack Biyombo, and Cody Zeller. So understandably, it's hard for him to find minutes up there, but he's making the most of his opportunity. Right now in the G League. So those were the 2 guys that kind of stood out to me today.
All right, Cardo.
All right, Raymond. He took one with Vernon Carey. What I'm saying is, like I said, man, before, technician on the block, inside and out. He's more of a traditional big, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That they say he can't play in today's game, but I see him killing. You know what I mean? And the wild part is he should be a sophomore in college right now, and Duke could use him. They could use him bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's most impressive. The knock on him coming out of college was because he hit the 3 ball, and he's starting to hit that. He hit 2 or 5 in the loss to the win against the loss to the Memphis Hustle. He hit 2 out of 5 from deep. So now, along what he could do on the block, and obviously in mid range, the pick and pop, he's starting to expand it. He's starting to get that shot, and if he get that shot, it's gonna be ugly. And the thing that really impressed me was his defense. He's more mobile. He's in tremendous shape, like great shape, man. He's moving his feet better. Even when he gets beat, he can recover and block shots. He was more to the floor at Duke, man. So that's impressive. The way he's running the floor, as you can see in the video, basket to basket. The most fundamental thing you teach big men can go basket to basket, and good things that happen. Either way, he's just sealing guys, opening up, looking for in the post, looking right there. He got the tools, man. It's only a matter of time before I see him at the show. A couple of bigs gonna have to get moved, sooner or later, man, if he keep doing this. So, it is what it is. I like what I saw out of Alonzo Tree. I know they played, they played yesterday, but he posted a near triple-double. Another guy with NBA experience, man. He got injured, late in his time with the Knicks and stuff like that. And it's like in a sense, it was a combination of things. It's like the league kind of gave up on him because they felt like he was just a volume scorer. He needed a lot of shots, and he didn't really pay much attention to defense, and he didn't really give you much else outside of that. But you can see now he's starting to round out his game. He's starting to expand everything. He finished with a near triple double for the Iowa Wolves with 21 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. In a 1-point loss to the Greensboro Swarm. He shot 6 for 14 from the field, 4-11 from deep. He's never been gun shy. Even going all the way back to high school, he takes shots AI style for real. It is what it is. But like I said, it's nice to see him expand his game and starting to understand that, the 82 game, the big league, they're not gonna really need him to get 30 all the time. That's not what they're gonna need him to do. Hit shots, yes, but they're gonna need him to focus on the other things and dominate in those areas, and then the shots will come to him. And when they do come, do what you do best: put the ball in the bucket. Simple as that. And last but not least, I had to bring him on the show. Jordan Poole, Santa Cruz Warriors guard, 37 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on 12 of 21 shooting from the field, 4 of 9 shooting from deep, and the Warriors 113-109 win over the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. They couldn't do nothing with him, man. He just did what he wanted. Hell, if you ain't know no better, if you ain't know basketball, and you played this game, you'd have thought he was Steph Curry the way he was torching those boys. It was ugly though. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid got it, man. As we all know, the Warriors are deep in the backcourt, so and on the perimeter, so it's not much minutes for him. But he's been putting on the show though, all season. He can do it all, man. Off the bounce, get into the basket, runners, floaters, mid range, threes, pick and pop. Especially with his skill set and that system, it's just ugly. It's nothing you can really do, man. And that's what he's doing, man. He's showcasing his talents, man. I know Steve Kerr and when they're scouting stuff, I know they're taking notice though. So, it's hard to say if he'll come up this year, but they got to keep him in the future because he's just too talented. You don't want him to leave and he come back and torch you back. You know what I'm saying? You don't want those problems, man. So I was really impressed with his performance.
All right, and then let's move on to the Ignite notes. Cartel, we'll start with you and then go to Ray.
The Ignite lost their second straight game to the Westchester Knicks, 121-113 in overtime. 3-point shooting turned out to be the difference in the game, the X factor. The Ignite shot 28% from downtown, and the Knicks shot 43% from deep. It's kind of a continuation from what we saw the previous game that they lost. I think the young kids are starting to feel the fatigue with the games day after day, back to back. They're learning. They're starting to feel what it's like to be a pro, and all the while they're getting everybody's best shot, like if they were NBA champions. You know what I'm saying? Because of the hype, because of the pay scale, because of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because they're prime time. So, the Westchester Knicks just kind of took it to them, and overtime they pulled away. This was the first time where the youngsters all struggled, so to speak. Kuminga finally had a subpar game. He finished with 11 points and 5 rebounds and 4 of 11 shooting from the field. Jalen Green posted 15 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists, but shot 6 of 18 from the field, didn't hit a 3. Deshaun Nix finished with 8 points, 7 rebounds and 3 assists on 3 of 9 shooting. And Isaiah Todd posted 14 points, 7 rebounds on 5 of 12 shooting. Even Jared Jack struggled, even the best struggled. The only bright spot for Ignite was Dante Hall. He posted 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 8 of 12 shooting. The 3-and-3 Westchester Knicks was led by 6'4" Ignas Razadiakis, who led the way with 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. Did it all. Okay. Jerry Harper added 16 points and 11 assists, and former Seton Hall standout Miles Powell had an efficient game off the bench with 17 points and 6-11 shooting. The 4-2 Ignite will next play Sunday at 3 p.m. against the Greensboro Swarm.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, I think Cartel summed it up perfectly. Where this is the area where that learning curve is starting to hit them. With everything that that they haven't encountered before through like high school and college in terms of the schedule and all that stuff. It's starting to catch up. The scouting report's also starting to catch up. So yeah, it's making things tough for them. Like you said, it was the first time Kuminga had a pedestrian performance. But what I did like was that his energy didn't change, his effort didn't change. It was just he just struggled, and that's going to happen. Especially for a young kid. Yeah, man, it's just they just taking their licks right now. They got stomped the other night. Then they lost a tough one last night, and off a back to back. I doubt any of them has ever played a back to back before in their life. So, maybe like an AAU or something like that. But this is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
The games are longer. The competition is better. They haven't seen anything like this yet. So, yeah, exactly. So, I'm pretty sure that was that lent to the performance. Especially the 3-point shooting. Their legs were probably gone.
Yeah.
So it's good for them to to go through this. That's what this program was created for, to kind of get guys ready. It's better to learn it here than to be learning it in the league with somebody's job really on the line. You a lottery pick and you kind of in the fire is a whole different story. Like, so not to get off topic, but I really like the idea behind the whole G League Ignite, program, period, just to kind of walk them into that professional life. You know what I'm saying? So, when it's time, they kind of been here before. It's not that much of a acclimation period for them. So yeah, man, they just took another tough one. I fully expect for them to get their legs back up under them. Brian Shaw, he's been around the NBA for about 30 years now. So, he has the know-how and he knows what to say to those guys, especially with having a lengthy playing career. He's seen it all. So, I just want to see their progression moving forward.
All right. Well, Ray, since Cardell went with the Ignite, let you kick off the Bayhawks notes.
They just still looking like one of the strongest teams in the G League. Jerry Udolph, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Jordan Bell, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Cassius Winston had another strong game, 10 points, 5 assists. They look good, man. It's it's not too much to say. They I wouldn't be surprised if all of them see NBA time sometime soon, because they're just making it known that they deserve to be at in prime time. So yeah, it's also good to see the Wizards guys down there getting some rec and performing well. To be perfectly honest, they could probably use them on the Wizards.
Jordan Bell, especially.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, that's who I had in mind, because he gives them something that they lacking right now. Effort, toughness, and on the defensive end in the front court. So I don't know, man. Maybe somebody will wise up. I really never understood why he got sent back down to begin with, but those ain't my decisions to make. But yeah, man, Bayhawks look good. They like I said before, they one of the upper echelon teams in the G League.
All right, Cardell, your thoughts on the Bayhawks? Anything you had to add?
Yeah, it's just like Raymond said, they're definitely tough. That's what they showed yesterday. It was that's one of those mentally tough games, because neither team shot well from the field. They definitely didn't shoot well from three. I think the Bayhawks shot 18% and the Lakeland Magic shot 19%. Both teams turned the ball over 18 times apiece. So it was one of those ugly, grinded out games. And the Bayhawks show how tough they were mentally. They held on. Even with the Lakeland bench was crazy. They outscored Bayhawks bench 53-19. Like, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, though they gave them everything they could ask for, yet the Bayhawks found a way to pull it out. That's how he lets you know, like, all right, they for real. Like, they gonna be there at the end, barring any injury or whatnot. You spoke on the players that shine out. Even Jalen Adams, I felt he had a good game. Running the show, 14 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. They just look good, man. Like you said, Jordan Bell, he's pretty much averaging a double-double every night. You know what I'm saying? His energy, he's but he's versatile. He can still do like playmaking and stuff, like kind of like Draymond does and stuff. Not as good as Draymond, but still he can impact the game in those ways. And like Raymond said, man, I know you got Jordan Bell, man, so do I. Like, you know, some of them iffy bigs that play good one game and don't play good the next. Let that be continuous. And then you'll be able to wake up and get an email, and Jordan Bell will be with the Wizards because it's clear Scott Brooks is not playing. He's just playing the best players. And right now, my man hooping right now. So you got to give him all the credit in the world, you know. So I mean, and then defensively though, that's what really impressed me about the game. 4 blocks and 4 steals, that's sick. I mean, you getting it done though. So along with that double, it ain't much you can say, man. So if the Wizards don't get him, somebody gonna call him up because he's hooping and he need to be up in that 82 game show, so to speak.
Yeah, it seems like, just throw my little 2 cents. It seems like now some people don't realize what they had until it's gone.
Yeah.
The opportunity that he walked into the league with seems like he's trying to make sure it finally hit him. You know, like you had a privileged start to the organization.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Man.
Like at the beginning.
Hell yeah.
And if you handled your business, you wouldn't even have saw this part of the league.
Mm-hmm.
You took things for granted, and now you see in this part of the league, and you see him like, man, I ain't trying. I want to go back.
Hey, you know what's wild, bro? And you know what's wild? And this is how cruel the league is, and this is actually a good example for younger players all the way down to high school. He acted up a fool. They got him up out of there. Then they went and drafted the dude that was similar to him, like Pascal. Like that he was the Pascal, dog. You better got him, son. Like it's the lead on play, man. Like
they looked at what my man brought to the table and was like, let me get some of that. Let's sprinkle some better, like some increased ball handling. You know what I'm saying? How about a little bit more size? Like
it's shooting.
Some shooting.
Yeah, dog, and defend and do everything he did. You know what I'm saying? Dog, when it got to do just like him, that's more. It's crazy, but that's the league for you, and that's just a life lesson, man. When you take it for granted, all right, next man up, and they literally went and got somebody.
And it feels like the Bayhawks got a whole lot of them type of dudes on their roster too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like dudes that maybe not at the NBA level per se, but they had a good opportunity and kind of didn't take advantage of it. And here you are, Jalen Adams, and here you are. And I'm anxious to see how many of them, like you said, Cartel, Ray, like you mentioned, they are all playing within a sense of urgency as a team. They ain't wasting no time down there. They are all in a race to try to get the heck up out the G League.
But think about it, you only got a month.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Show what you got. It ain't like the usual season. That thing go about 5 months, whatever.
Right.
You got a month to show what you can do, and that's it. Now you back home working out, or you might get a quick job overseas, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So the season over mid-March. So you better hoop. You better get. I mean, what's the problem? Because think about it, that's all-star break. So teams gonna be making their decisions on who they gonna keep, who they gonna let go, who they gonna bring up. You want to be in those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the unpredictability of this year, with the draft late in the summer. We don't know if it's going to be summer league. You may not get enough opportunities till next year, literally, next fall or something. So,
damn.
I mean, hey, man, that's just where we at.
Facts. And that's all we ever try to do is give you as much information as possible because these are all things that actually matter going forward for teams, and at some point we're going to have folks that eat up into these opportunities when the buyout market comes around. Mm-hmm. So again, it behooves you to do your best, show out, put your best tape together, and get yourself one of these jobs with some of these teams where, luckily, your pay scale fits right in line with what they have. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is just being honest here, right? So we'll see how this goes. Like Cartel said, it's a month, but as we close today's show, we can't close it without our last segment, On the Verge. And to all the folks, anybody that tried to tune on IG earlier, sorry I had some technical difficulties. We are finally up on Instagram. And, technology, man, fun times. It's been over here fighting it, as always. But it's up. So, but go ahead, Cartel, Ray, whoever wants to start in terms of any changes for the On the Verge segment we have each and every week?
Go ahead, Ray.
Well, Cartel, you actually spoke on mine earlier. Jordan Poole. I mean, it's no explanation needed. He's been torching. And yesterday, man, like this was yesterday, it was the first time Nico Mannion hadn't played well in a few games, and Jordan Poole picked up that slack with ease. It was child's play. So yeah, and anybody that's looking for some scoring, or if somebody go down and they need a quick punch off the bench or something like that, I'm pretty sure whatever team personnel is in that position is going to be looking his way because he on one.
Well, saw one last night, Lakers, but
Here, I thought we was gonna make it through this without one of those references.
This is usually the grown-up show, man. Come on.
Hey, look, for the record, let everyone know it wasn't me. It won't be me.
Man, look, I'm trying to help the code out. Y'all getting on me, though. The code, look, they was a little bit sad last night. I'm trying to pick them up. There's a guy in the G League that's killing. And it's ironic. I got Jordan Poole, too. I mean, he's averaging 25 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, on 45% shooting from the field, 37% from deep, 95% from the line. I mean, you don't get more efficient than that, dog. So, I mean, yeah, there's a few teams that need some bucket getters. The Bucks that saw them last night. Hey, man, that damn predictable. Hold on, that's for another show. We're gonna leave that alone. That damn predictable stuff. But anyway, Jordan Poole and I got to go with Vernon Carey. He's starting to be consistent. All he need to do is just show he can shoot the 3-ball. Just like what we saw when the Hornets played the Wizards and Cody Zeller was out there eating, knocking down 3 balls and stuff. Like, if he could do that, he's going right back up there and he's going to stay. Oh, yeah, he's averaging 21 and 10 on the season on 58% shooting from the field. Keep in mind, like I said, he should be a sophomore in college right now. And Duke would love to have him. So, you know what I'm saying? If he was there, they would have won more games and maybe guys wouldn't have chosen to do other things. But
oh, boy. That's where you at today?
Dog, I'm just being real.
Hey, Ray, my man had 3 bullets left and made sure all of them counted.
Hey, man, look, not wasting no ammunition.
Listen. I'm just saying.
3, it went wick with
I'm just saying some standout. Look, some standout freshmen are built different over the last few years. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm at. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man,
everybody ain't built the same.
But now, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight for the G League rundown. We'll be back around tomorrow night. As always, the Wizards got a West Coast road trip. They'll be out west for a little while. They don't get back. I believe they don't get back to DC for a home game until next Saturday, and then they'll be like the following. So next Saturday they come back from a tough trip out west, and then they play one home game, then head up to Boston the following day. But it's Portland tomorrow.
Hold on, don't they play LA Sunday?
Oh no! I'm talking about next week. Okay. I got you. But coming up, you got Portland tomorrow. They get a day off. Then you get the LA's back to back. You get a day off before Lakers Clippers. One more day off. Denver's going to be looking for get back. Travel back home. Take a deep breath. And matter of fact, hold on. My handy dandy schedule here, since I'm being mature today. They got the Timberwolves.
They better not lose that
at home next Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, that's a perfect team. They need to be calling up a lot of people, man.
My man said, "Get Anthony Edwards some help."
Yeah,
all right, that's my one for the day. So I said I was going to be mature. I want to thank you guys for hanging with us. Get out of here before I join it. And again, shout out to we appreciate you, Trav, Vincent, XW Brown for tuning in again. We should be good next couple of days, technology permitting, with the IG feeds being up the entire time. But if you guys want to catch anything you missed, they'll end up being up on YouTube as always as well. But Facebook and Twitter, they were up the entire time. So you guys have a good night. G League Rundown at Raymond Lyons, Cardo Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. You guys have a good one.